Alright guys, such a coming again. I hope you're doing well and enjoying your take so far. Major CDL drama emerging last night, especially based on the victors of the Challengers Cup. The MVP of the tournament turning some serious heads yesterday. Dashy, Octane among others giving their reaction to Alluka's gameplay. And Aches believes it's about time LA Thieves pull the trigger on a change. What do you guys think in the comments? Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always, I greatly appreciate it. Just that final series to mention from yesterday. Very interesting one. I think this was always destined for a game 5 really. FaZe and Toronto. FaZe finally won a hard point. They've been shaky in that mode so far. They lost the game 1 again yesterday. Toronto then go up 2-1. You're thinking, wow, FaZe might get done again, but they turn up on a Colossus. They actually put in a sensational map here. 250 to 72. GG's goes to 5, and in 5, in a very close fought affair, FaZe just about to get over the line. So these two teams right now feel very evenly matched. It's still a little bit difficult to place where Thieves should be because, you know, they've beat FaZe, but also they lost pretty dramatically to the Gentlemates. So what's going on? Who really knows how to rank the top dogs in general? But FaZe do get the win against Toronto, so probably proving they are the team that's just in that, you know, third, fourth kind of conversation above Toronto for now. But a very competitive affair. I think we're going to have some great matchups between these guys all season long. As Simp says, good way to go into the new year. For sure, FaZe finishing on a high. Love the strides we're making, he says. So yeah, look, FaZe are going to be a threat. Simp continues to play incredibly well. It was, yeah, 3-2 in the end. Got a big on the screen here, but I'll just show you guys the overall series scoreboard when it decides to load. Simp with a 1.2 effectively, which is not that unusual for him so far this season. So that was the final series of the day, but the real talking point was about whether roster changes might start to need to be made. Formal made the point to say, certainly after Major 1, unlikely before, but at this point, who knows? We'll discuss it in a second. Teams will make changes, you know how it is. If Major 1 doesn't go to plan, you will see some teams blowing it up. Now, which teams might that be? You'd expect some of the teams towards the lower part of the league to consider their moves if they look like their current roster is not going to make it to champs, but even some of the top teams, if there are other options, might be worth going for. So this has been some discussion with regard to Legends over the last few days, what Surge might do about it, you know, should they send him down to Challengers, that type of stuff. I think the question I would have, certainly even with some of the top teams, is like, okay, if you are going to make a change, what are you going to change to, right? Because, you know, not to name drop any Challengers players specifically, but it's like, okay, are we going to just bring in more Challengers players that we've seen in the league a few times before? You kind of know what they're going to do. It's going to be nothing spectacular, right? That's the reason why Surge did what they did, taking a bit of a risk. It doesn't seem like it's worked out so far, but it's also a talking point on this Thieves situation as well as, okay, if you drop Kenny, who do you get? Because you can't get Ghosty back, you can't get Cellium, so what are your options in this hypothetical scenario? Are you going to pick up a Challengers player that, you know, we've seen a million times before? Or is that not the best idea? I think there are some players that we've seen before who still have some potential to give. For example, Johnny, I think, has looked pretty good in this game so far. I think he'll be in the league probably at some point this season. Teams might well pick him up. But there could be other names in consideration as well. Of course, everyone is looking for that diamond in the rough, Mercules type figure, really. And what Mercules did for OpTic last year has definitely shown that you can pick up someone from Challengers who looks good, and, well, they can turn your whole season around and become MVP, best player in the game and all this within a few months span. So, Challengers Cup, who are we going to look at down there, right? Because that's one of the most intriguing things about Challengers right now, which players are going to be signed in these eventualities. Renegade says they ended up falling out top 6, and he didn't have his best series to close out the tournament, but I think there's definitely been some progress from the Huntsman. Neum's been playing particularly well as well, so it's exciting to see those guys progress, but they came top 6, but they were not the story of the day. The story of the day was this kid, Alluka, German kid, come over to the States to play this season, currently on the OMIT Brooklyn team, but possibly not for long. So this is a name that has been talked about now for, well, probably some time for those that are really in the know of the Challenger scene, but definitely since Black Ops 7 has come out, there's been a fair bit of talk about this Alluka kid and the fact that he's pretty cracked. And, well, we're starting to see it on show yesterday. Probably only a matter of time until he had a performance like this. And you get all the pros watching some of his gameplay yesterday, and I've got a couple of clips we've got to share. So Octane was having a good time watching his POV. Of course, interesting because Octane is very closely related to the Los Angeles Thieves. Dashy also watching his gameplay and being like, okay, damn, this kid is legit. And a few other clips to share as well, especially when it comes to what teams could well consider his services.
Maybe long. shot. Other guy C2.
Long. One more long.
Yeah, I've watched granted 2 maps of this kid's pop. Bro, he's
I'm going
gross.
left. I'm going left. I'm going left.
Oh, I'm actually literally not on you. Even on the screen.
In spawn one spot. Going. That's side ring.
Yeah, send him.
Gonna be close casting. I
killed Perli. Perli, one shot on ball. Back left corner.
Jay, just play slow.
Spots on me too. They're aping me. Too good.
Oh!
3 dead.
I'm mapping left.
Nice, good job.
This kid is fucking insane.
Wait, how old is Alluka?
18.
On my left. On me.
One more close left, I think.
Nothing close left.
I'm gonna have to make a phone call.
Nice. Deep.
No, he's actually good as fuck, Sam. He's actually good as fuck. You're gonna have to call Rocky though.
Going right.
Shit.
One shot solar. Front solar.
He's laying down the knife. Right on me. One more right on me.
Oh my god.
Awakening behind you,
The fuck?
Nice job. 10 last.
Bro, what's this guy's loadout? I want to try this shit.
One
Yo,
shot,
this
one
shit
bullet
is
in the-
ripping,
he's
bro.
hitting through, one shot.
Yeah, he's solar.
Are we using the wrong shit?
There's another one top alley. One's our back green.
Watching him at cut.
Ah, damn.
We got 8 mid, Nate.
I got stun Pika. He's solar trying. Yo, Pika.
Cut that.
Pin's weak, Yuli.
Luka Doncic, bro. I like his name too, Luka.
Pretty low, Mata.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's awakening. He won 10. Awakening.
Rip him, Luke.
On my
Oh! Yo, this kid kind of cold, bro.
Oh,
This kid's nice.
coming right.
Midding up, you one. I'm midding up, you one.
Top, Wake. One shot done. Ball's gonna reset.
I got the cross.
One shot top. They're gonna touch ball.
Rip him. Get 2. Might as well get 3. You're already here.
I have left.
They can't kill you.
Left on me. Dead.
I'm laying down that side.
Shit on
Oh
him.
my god.
This kid's nice, bro. Whoa.
Yeah.
Nade over.
I'm jetting deep left.
Shit on him. Top blue. Run him too. Yep, right there.
Top blue. I can watch over you.
I crossed. I got it.
Shitting.
Ball's right, guys. Ball's right. They're gonna back right. Yep. Back right. Crossing right. Done. I can wrap up on you. 2 on your left.
I can't even hit him.
On my left.
He's gonna get 3.
Go right. They're spawning right. Yeah. Once we got him. Deep there, spawn. Yuli, one shot.
I'm just chatting.
Playing the snap spot. He's playing the snap angle.
Behind me, tank.
Kid's nice.
Yo, I don't know if I'm the best in the world. What the fuck is this, bro? Holy
Yep, that's good
fucking
gas,
shit,
T-Fell. Fucking
Like,
gas
I'm
him
not
up.
missing, bro. I'm not missing. Like, what the fuck?
You're the best in the world, Mo.
Yo, his name is Mo. We gotta call him Luka. I'm
Shit,
sorry.
bro.
No Mo. I'm gonna say him again. That's my only 2. Yo, I've only typed twice in this kid's stream, and it's both the same message.
Shit.
Let me know when you guys are ready. I'll wall run high.
Nothing laying down close.
Wow, that's a dirty way to click for that.
I'm left. I'm hopping. Yeah. I'm in now.
KV, I never heard of that kid though.
Should have been a fucking 6-0, but I'm scared of Geo, bro, because this guy was in the league, but worse than my grandma, bro.
You're good, Mo. You're good. Good shit, bro.
I wasn't scared for the record. I just thought I'm smart.
Oh my god.
Did I play it that bad? I mean, bro, if he had no flag and
If you were playing an S&D player, you played it perfect. That's why I said this guy doesn't know how to play S&D.
I should have cheated him. Like, I'm 10 times this fucking idiot, bro, on everything I love. Literally, bro.
I would get dope hearing this. Like, bro, my teammate's so locked.
Listen.
I'm muting my shit. I have a question. Mute your shit.
Hey, I'm gonna lower Luke a little bit. Yeah, what's up?
Yeah. Look, man, I'm glad Ernie's here, bro. Like, it's not gonna be easy, bro. Like, these conversations are always hard, bro. It is. Brandon had to call last year. There's been plenty of teams that have made the calls in the past. Ken will be fine, bro. Like, Ken is good. Don't worry about Ken. He'll be straight. But what I want you to do is get on the phone tonight. Don't wait, bro. Don't wait. Please don't wait, bro. Do yourself a favor. Get on the phone. Whether this kid wins the cup, loses the cup, who cares? Get him on the team, bro. When 2026 hits, Ernie, I want to see this kid side by side with you. I don't care if he can't even call out, bro. Get him on the team.
I want to be careful if he fucking loses whatever English he has right now. If he loses that too, bro.
Yeah, who is begging? Isn't it? Didn't you say he's French? Oh, he has fucking.
No, he's German. He's German. It's European though. Like that's
European,
a.
same shit, bro.
I'm letting Zeke.
Oh my god. I think, yo, Pat, I think this guy gets fucking turned too, dude. Like, this is
Are you watching? Like, look, he's ripped.
oh my god, no. Oh my god, he's screaming. He's screaming now. Oh my god, he's here. He's actually. Oh, LAT Alluka connect. Yo, this is so trolly. Oh my god.
Oh my god, somebody just joined the game. LAT Alluka, bro.
You have to end it.
Nah, these people are fucking in hell.
Yeah.
Bro, that is a fresh account, by the way.
Yeah, somebody just did that for the clip, bro.
That's so bored.
So after all that gameplay, all those pop-offs, they make it to the grand final of the Challengers Cup and they win the Challengers Cup as well. So there's no like official MVP, but of course there was only one winner of that triumph really as the tournament progressed. NA Challengers Cup number 2 champs with Nate terminated Brack and Fellow. And even Fellow says what a perfectly constructed champs tweet. This really was the key talking point of the day was this series when they took down Project Notorious, 2 ReeaL, Geo, Awakening and Yuli. That's a very solid Challengers team. As we know, for some time we thought that Geo was going to be in the league again this year, right? We thought that he was maybe going to go to the Ravens. They went another direction and got Nero instead. But Alluka had a 1.75 in this series with 133 kills over 4 maps, which is absolutely ludicrous. Like, there's really no other way to put it. Game 1 for the loss, he was 39 in 28 with a bunch of hill time as well. Map 2 was 7 in 6, they won that one. Map 3 on the Scar Overload, he dropped 41. He was 41 in 21. You're not going to lose if that's the case. And the final map, he dropped 46. I mean, this was an absolutely generational performance here from Alluka. And as I say, this kid's been talked about now for a little bit of time. But it's cool to see him have like an absolute breakout tournament like this, especially in the context, as I mentioned earlier, of Mercules being a thing, right? Picking Mercules up for Toronto, then to OpTic, has absolutely changed the tide. And it's such a more exciting scene that we're in when you actually have players in challenges who are exciting. People are excited to see where they go, how they progress. Like how, I'm not saying Alluka is Simp or Illy or, one of those guys that was around back in the day, but, for a long time, everyone knew that Simp and Illy were going to be in the Pro League when they were old enough. It was just a matter of time, and it was exciting to see how that would all transpire. Nowadays, because Challengers is 18 plus, you can't even play until you're 18. Alluka is, just about, I think. So he's now playing, and yeah, clearly the talent is there for all to see, and given what's happened with Merc and other talents over the last couple of years, teams will be thinking about it for sure. So he goes to the grand final. Okay, he doesn't drop a 1.7 in the grand finals, but they played the Falcons Academy in this one. That team's been doing pretty well. King aBeZy's actually been pretty good on this game so far. It's been impressive to see after, nice to really come back from what was a difficult time last year on the Falcons. RST's a bit up and down. Paulx, Priester, they go down in the end. Competitive series for sure, but Omit Brooklyn, they take the win. And Alluka, okay, he doesn't have 130 odd kills this time, and it was over 6 maps. But still, he had the most kills on his team, a 1.06 KD, most damage on his team as well. Priester had a great series on the other side, but in the end, the Den Overload goes their way on the map 6. And Alluka and the Omit Brooklyn, they win the Challengers Cup. So that's when the questions therefore turn, as you saw in those clips, to what is going to happen next. Because Aches decides, perfect moment, to turn up, give a few words to Scrap and says, look, Ken's going to be fine. Don't worry about Kenny. He's won his championships. Probably he'll find another team to go to as well, but don't wait on this kid. And I think that there is no way that Thieves would have done this pre-Mercules. But I think that there is an argument right now that you at least think about it, right? Because you've got this kid who's cooking in challenges. Everyone seems to admit, okay, this guy's really talented. It looks like he's got a bright future. Somebody is going to sign him, right? Like, just based on yesterday and based on looking like the brightest player in challenges, someone's going to sign him. And if it's not LA Thieves, then it's probably going to be somebody else, especially when we got a tweet here from Fellow who did the whole Fast and Furious, parted of the ways gif. Well, we've seen this a million times, but I'm not sure if he is necessarily indicating he's gone for sure or whether he's just saying, oh, here we go again, right? Because, Fellow's been here before, he's brought up players. they've done really well under his leadership, under his tenure. Then they've been signed to the Pro League. So it could just be another one of those for Fellas, and maybe Fellow sees it coming. Or Alluka is already having some discussions with CDL franchises. And I think it'll be interesting how this plays out. Now look, do LA Thieves need a player like Alluka with the talent they have? Maybe not necessarily, but X's argument the other day was that because they're a little bit concerned that Kenny could drop a 0.6 at any moment, they may not have to worry about that with Alluka so much, and therefore they may just be a better team as a consequence, right? But obviously there is more to it than just that. It's not just about the gunny, it's about the decision making. I think this is why Mercules has been such a revelation in many ways, is that he's not just got the gun skill, but he also very rarely makes a wrong decision on the map. In clutch situations, in search and destroy, it's made OpTic so much more consistent than pre-Mercules. And look, not everyone's going to be Mercules, but the point is that because he exists, teams are going to have to think about it. Could that be Thieves? Because in the same way that last year, Toronto brought in Mercules, they looked real good. They decided that they were going to go a different way, or they did offer him a spot on the bench, but they didn't offer him a starting team spot. If they had it done with good money, he probably takes it then and there. But then also other teams were interested in Mercules. Cloud9 wanted to sign him, possibly another couple of organizations as well. Those deals were not far off being done. But when OpTic came along and they said, okay, hey, yeah, we want to make this happen, that of course was a no-brainer. That was always going to be Mercules' final decision, was to go to the green wall. And it would be the same story, hypothetically, for Thieves. If Thieves says, okay, yeah, we actually want you, then that's the deal that Alluka's going to sign, right? So they have the benefit in that sense that they are the most promising team that could probably right now be considering a move. But I still don't think it's going to happen quite yet. So very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care. And I'll see you next time.